Hello and welcome to Class Notes. I'm Allison Young. If you could see sound and music, what would it look like? Sometimes looking at a work of art can help us listen to and understand music. Take a stroll with me and I'll show you what I mean. Color, rhythm, form, and style. These are just a few of the tools that both composers as well as artists and sculptors use to help tell a story or convey a mood. For example, take a look at these pieces crafted in Italy over 3 centuries ago. This table from the late 1600s is so intricate, it's hard to even tell it's a table. And this mirror, rather than straight lines, there's swooping curves and curlicues. And rather than simply wood, it's gold and marble. It's almost too much, and yet so beautiful. The style we're looking at is called Baroque, and it's what we're listening to. Baroque means highly decorated or ornamented. Instead of a simple melodic line, Baroque composers and performers added all kinds of trills and embellishments. And now we'll fast forward 200 years. Come on. Sometimes the connection between art and music is literal, as is the case with this painting. It tells a very sad love story, one countless composers have set to music. Eurydice, pictured here, was the beloved companion of the most legendary musician of Greek mythology, Orpheus. The music you're hearing, the dance of the blessed spirits, tells the part of the story when Orpheus goes to the underworld in an attempt to bring Eurydice back from the dead. Why do you think this story inspired so many classical composers? Next, we go to a sunny olive grove in the French countryside. Come on. Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh once said, "My brush moves through my fingers just as a bow moves on the strings of a violin." And when you see his painting Olive Trees, you see exactly what he means. He uses his paintbrush with boldness and tenderness, just as a musician might play. Van Gogh was a post-impressionist painter, part of a group who painted pictures less to show accurate images than to reflect light and color. The music you're hearing is by Maurice Ravel, often called an impressionist composer. In music, color is called timbre. It's the element that makes sounds different. The timbre of this work is created by violins, viola, and cello. How do Ravel's music and Van Gogh's painting reflect each other? You can feel rhythm in the row of olive trees. And look at the colors. The warm yellow of the sun, the cooler blue in the mountains and shadows. Well, perhaps the greatest thing Ravel and Van Gogh have in common is texture. Van Gogh's brushstrokes are bold and assured. The paint is thick and full of contrasts. In Ravel's music, too, you can hear the individual musical strokes. You can feel their vibrations, and you can hear the contrasts. And now from the French countryside to an American rodeo. Here's a familiar image, an American cowboy on a bucking bronco. This painting was originally made as an advertisement for a breakfast cereal. The painter N.C. Wyeth helps us feel the power of the bucking horse and the strain and flair of the cowboy trying to subdue it. Composer Aaron Copland was a city kid, but he was fascinated by the American West. In his ballet Rodeo, he paints a musical picture of horses trotting about and being wrangled, and even what life must have been like out on the frontier. In both the painting and the music, you feel movement, you feel power and energy. It just takes your breath away. To finish things out today, let's see a piece of art that's not a painting, it's a part of a building. Sometimes we can see and hear musical patterns by just looking at a piece of art or decoration. It can help us understand the elements of music. George Grant Elmslie was an architect and designer. He was part of the American arts and crafts movement, and he made this tile for a bank in the rural Midwest. This, along with others, created a border between stucco and brick. It almost looks like a musical measure. You see the triplets and eighth notes? It has a visual rhythm like the measure from Bach has musical rhythm. That was fun. Thanks for coming along and exploring what music and art have to share and what new things they have to tell each other. Now it's your turn to choose a favorite piece of music and art and see what ties them together.